Blessings. Welcome to video 2 on this playlist for breath work, meditations for stress, trauma, emotional healing. And yes, this is with me, Heather Ann Ferri. Grab some water. Make sure you have your notebook, your journal, and your pen. And this is more going to be a class structure today. So sitting up nice and tall in a chair, feet on the floor. You're just going to focus in on that long, deep breath. And if you're a beginner, place one hand over the navel area, the belly button, and just make sure the breath, the muscles are moving. When you inhale, everything is expanding, the belly, sides of the ribs, and lower back. And when you exhale, everything is coming in to support your posture. And let's just take a moment to get grounded. If you have a headset, put it on. When you're working on this set, take notes afterwards. So maybe the next day, or put it in your calendar to review. But do this breath meditation work with silence, no music. That's the real magic. It may be challenging, but as you advance and you enter into my workshops and retreats and Zoom classes, and we get into more advanced meditations and programs for PTSD, childhood trauma, or spiritual advancement, psychic, intuitive abilities, we work with your voice. We work with using your voice to continue to heal and then send the signal out into the higher conscious self and the higher conscious realms of this world and many worlds. So close the eyes and pay attention to your breath. How does it feel today? Is the belly tight? Or is it able to take in that long, deep breath and slowly feel those abdominal muscles pulling in as you exhale? We don't judge in my classes, we observe. We become, in essence, our own teacher, investigator, detective, scientist, developing the healer within. There are some places we hold tension, stress. It chronically builds up. So I want you to open your eyes and rub your hands together. Feel that energy. That is your energy. And place one of the hands over the vocal cords. We're going to work today with using the voice in one of the meditations. And because I actually don't have the correct sound system, it forces me to work with the lover's voice. I've talked about that in video 1. I would definitely go back to video 1 in this playlist. But the lover's voice is one of 3 voices we use in these medical meditations. And the lover's voice is training us, especially if we grew up in a household with a lot of screaming and yelling, or in a household where people, your caregivers, your parents, were very rigid and tight and stressed out, and so their voices were as well. We started to learn to mimic that, or that became the normal. That became the normal. And so the lover's whisper, as we become more familiar with speaking to ourselves, you find it more common sometimes with animals you love, or sometimes with children you love. But we want to teach those who are leaders and business owners, or whatever your job profession you're in, when you come home, that you have a ritual. You go take a cold shower, scrubbing off all the day, the work, the energy, the people. You know, you may go into a couple different rituals before dinner, but you want to come to the table with either yourself or your partner, your family, with a personal energy where you can really be with them and be able to experience them and learn about them more and share part of yourself. So our truth can get blocked in the voice, and then the stress builds. Let's warm up. We're going to warm up today. We're going to start with one nostril breathing. If you don't know much about it, I would go back to Breathwork for Leaders playlist with 9 videos. I would do them all and keep a notebook. This only advances more and more as time goes on. So we're going to cover the right nostril and begin breathing through the left. Your hand can be in mudra or it can be over the belly. So breathing deep and long. Switch sides. And relax. I want you to grab the pen and write a note. Was the left nostril more open or the right nostril? Write that down in your notebook. And then the question with the left nostril, and you can breathe again to check on this. Was the inhale longer than the exhale? Was the inhale easier than the exhale? Write that down in your notebook. And do the same thing. Was your inhale easier or the exhale? Which one was longer? Write that down in your notebook. Why? Go back to the series. This gets deeper and deeper with each video, so I can't keep repeating because then these videos will be really long, but we're going to keep adding. Alternate nostril breathing as a warm-up before we set the intention for our class today. So covering the right nostril, inhale long and deep through the left. Cross over with the pinky, exhale. Stay there, inhale. Close the right, exhale. Again, inhale. Cross over, exhale. Inhale. Cross over, exhale. Inhale. Cross over, exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to move into the warm up. And yeah, I always do a Buddha smile. And that's because we hold a lot of tension in our tongue, our neck, vocal cords, and the mouth that we don't even realize. Through years of working privately with people, they had no idea things were twitching, moving around. When we start getting into tongue placements, how the tongue starts to move in one direction. It's all interrelated to neurological rewiring. So I try to keep the mouth slightly relaxed, and we call it the Buddha smile. So I'm going to set the intention, rubbing the hands together. You've written in video 1 your intention. You can follow mine or review the one that you wrote that you feel comfortable with. It can change every week. I call upon my higher self. I call upon my direct relationship with the Divine Mother, with the creator of Mother Earth, the Ascendant Masters, my angelic team, spirit guides, higher beings of light, to protect me and those watching and doing this video today. Guide me, assist me as I give this mini class. Thank you. Warm up, neck rolls, chin to the chest, sitting up nice and tall, feet parallel on the floor. Inhale. And as you go to the other side, making a figure 8, exhale. Using the breath with movement, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come back center. At any point, if you feel like you need to do something longer, pause the video. And once you're done, begin again with me. So you can go longer with any exercise. The goal is to really tune into what your body needs through this. If something is bothering you, stop, write it. You may need to hire a professional. You may need to do a private consultation to understand why. I place disclaimers on my videos because it's important to know that this is a representation of a mini class, but I can't see you. So you're going to have to take full responsibility of what you can and can't do. And if there's things that are coming up that you don't understand, you need to hire a professional. Maybe it's trauma with rashes or uncomfortableness with the breath, or somebody like myself or somebody on my team. And that's why I placed that disclaimer there. It's very important, right? To take full consent of your work. So now we're going to do shoulder shrugs. This may seem easy, but I have found throughout the years privately, most people in the beginning don't coordinate the breath properly. Therefore, the blood is not properly flowing where it needs to. The heart first, the thyroid second, and then the pituitary and pineal. So you might want to keep one hand on the belly. And once again, when we inhale, which way is the belly? It's going out. And when you exhale, it's going in. Just be patient if you're a beginner. It's okay. We all started. I started there, but you have to train that muscle to work properly, to get deeper and to get blood flow. So when you're doing some of the work physically, you're getting the maximum benefits of it. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale down. Now I'm going to give you a master detail because I know this really well. You're going to pay attention, you're going to pay attention to both. Can you stretch your shoulders to your ears? That's what you're working towards without force. And when you exhale, are you fully relaxing, or do you feel tension inside your shoulders like I used to because I had trauma there? I remember early on in my dance career, I was doing this one performance and somebody was asking me about my, sort of studies in this particular character because they noted that my shoulders was like this. I didn't even know my shoulders was like this. It was just, my shoulders were always like this because there was trauma in there that was connected to thoughts and memories, that's connected to stories in my muscles and tissue. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale down. And you can say, relax mentally. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Beautiful. Spinal flex. You're stretching the middle part of the back and moving the spinal fluid to the frontal cortex of the brain, so we have more memory, sharper mental focus. This is a cat-cow position, but when you're sitting in a chair, whether you're at the dentist office or you're in a work environment, when you can, keep the hands still, do spinal flex. Inhale the chest forward. Shoulder blades coming together. Exhale, make a C in the spine. Head stays still. The breath is leading you. So I start the breath and then I do the movement. That is also important in connecting to the breath, the abdominals, the third chakra, all these nerves. So you don't want to just power through. You want the breath to move you. And I think of it as water, as the ocean, and it flows. And the longer the breath, the deeper you go. Inhale forward. Exhale, curl. Inhale forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take a deep inhale, sitting tall. Exhale. The inhale, exhale is one set. We just did 11. I always refer to my clients and students doing 26 a day, especially if they were sitting a lot. This is something you can do in between breaks. Okay. I'm going to do one more today, and it's twisting. Twisting is really important to start to get into the rib cage. That can be very constricting and tight, especially with people who grew up in a household that was always on edge, a lot of stress that you're taking on from your parents that don't know how to process their stress. That's what we do as children. And we also, it's like massaging the belly, those nerves by getting a blood flow. It's different. So it's like twisting. So we're going to place the hands here and we'll inhale to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to do one more and just let the head follow slow. Inhale. Exhale. Come back center and relax. This is a beautiful moment to drink some water. And as you know, on my channel, I talk a lot about water because it was the second tool besides breath work, first breath, then water, that started me on the journey of healing so many things. And so I really want to plant a seed to inspire people to not just think of water as hydration, but as nourishment, right? And so the quality of the water you drink can make a huge difference in anti-aging, in healing traumas, in helping you clear brain fog, depending on what types of water protocols you're doing, detoxing parasites. It's a detox, it's a cleansing, water fasting. And so if you haven't heard, I have partnered up, and the sponsor of this particular channel, Heather Ann Ferri, is MultiPure. MultiPure is a company that's been around for 53 years. They're based in the United States, and they really are working with the government on pursuing more regulations and certifications. That means when you go on a website, people can lie. Companies lie all the time. And a lot of people don't know the right channels to really say, oh, is that certified? Where is their certification? And MultiPure connects all the dots. They're cost effective. I've worked with many different filters, and this one was a game changer for me. It actually, I lost 25 pounds. I anti-age, my skin got lighter, and I feel a difference when I drink it. I also drink a medical water as well from a Japanese device with 7 different types of waters. But for today, I'm just going to share a gift code. If you're interested, you can go onto the company at multipure.com and get 5% off your first purchase, whatever that is. The code is 436409. So let me say that again, 436409. And not only does that support this channel, but it's going to support you on your wellness journey. So I always say clean water is an act of self-love. And it's like I'm telling my body I'm listening and I'm taking care of myself. We have 2 powerful meditations today. Are you ready? Okay. The first is a breath meditation, and I'm going to keep time. So my eyes will be open. I'm going to keep time. It's for reducing stress, anxiety, shutting off that I keep repeating the same thoughts over and over and over again. I don't know how to stop. So you're going to inhale and gently hold the breath in as long as it feels comfortable. And then exhale and hold the breath out as long as it feels comfortable. So long, deep inhale, hold the breath. Long exhale, hold the breath out. And this breath is teaching the mind, believe it or not to soften. And it's teaching the body to get safer with this breath pattern. It's teaching the nervous system to release the grip on stress. The hands right in front of the left, thumb straight up, which is the ego. These are straight in line and they're not touching, and they're a little bit away from the heart chakra. Feet are parallel. Buddha smile. No music. And let's begin. Slow inhale. Hold the breath without forcing. Long exhale. Hold the breath out without forcing. Long inhale. Hold the breath. Long exhale. Hold the breath out. Long inhale. Hold the breath. Long exhale. Hold the breath out. Long inhale. Hold the breath. Long exhale. Hold the breath out. Long inhale. Hold the breath. Long exhale. Hold the breath out. Long inhale. Hold the breath. Long exhale. Hold the breath out. Continue on your own. On your next exhale, relax, shake out the hands. Let's talk about that for a moment. You can drink some water, write some notes. You might have observed that you wanted to stop. If you're a beginner, that's normal. I've had private doctor clients say it's so much easier to do these sessions on Zoom with you. So you might have to timestamp this video and keep showing up with me. And then eventually you're going to write this meditation in your self-care notebook, right? That we're building on this channel. That if you come to workshops or retreats, you'll already have a foundation for. You may find that one thumb, so you might not notice this right away. This is the subtle details when you work with the master. So if you start to do this on a regular basis, which I hope you do, you might want to every now and then look in the mirror. So in my classroom, I always had a mirror by the side and then intimacy us. Because I'm looking at the student, I can say, oh, there's things going on with the thumbs. You might not be able to know that, right? You're just trying to get through the breath pattern. Once you become more advanced, look in the mirror a little bit. Do it once in the mirror with the eyes open. Smile at yourself. You know, what a beautiful thing to smile at yourself. That subtle Buddha smile. And just kind of pay attention to the thumbs and see what's going on. So what that means is what would happen is sometimes people can't even lift one thumb up all the way. And sometimes during the breath patterns, the thumbs may collapse in. This means something. It's neurological stuff. It's ego stuff. We don't just define it as ego. It's representation of something OCD, childhood trauma, ADHD. And those are just labels about signals. That's all. Because all that can be rewired, right? There's brain protocols for what I just said. Okay, drink some water. The next meditation is a voice activation using the lover's whisper, Geo, which means soul. And Geo I used a lot in senior care in the dementia department. And I saw the magic of doing Geo even just for a few minutes with them. It tranquilizes what we call that reactive anger, aggression in the brain. And sometimes it's just stored there from chronic buildup of traumas. And then somebody comes in and they speak to you a certain way or they disrespect you and you lose it. I've been there a lot with myself when healing generational traumas, a lot. So we don't want to judge it. We want to write it down. We want to express it. We want to understand where this comes from so that we can release it, let it go, right? We're going to say the word Geo 7 times and then take a breath and say it again. Now, all that breath work in the Breathwork for Leaders class, the 9 videos, is very important because you speak on the exhale, you chant on the exhale, you sing on the exhale, and we're trying to open the channel so that your red blood cells get the maximum benefits from what you're chanting, and that the universe of the higher consciousness can connect with you. So when I inhale, my belly is expanding, and when I'm saying Geo, 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 my belly just came all the way in. And then I inhale again. Sides of ribs, lower back. I'm in singing class, speaking class. Geo, 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 Geo. Right? It's hard to teach and look at my notes and This is new to me. It's easier to have students in front of me, even if it's on camera. But I will say this throughout the years of doing this work, because if you know my story, if you read my book, part one, Transcending Victim to Goddess, I have a lot of issues with my throat and voice ancestrally from a lot of severe off the charts traumas. And throughout the years of cleaning it up and shaking and releasing, people would always say, your voice is very calming. And that is like such a beautiful compliment to me because it's validating all of that hard work I had to do to heal all of that trauma. One of my master teachers in yoga introduced an exercise that could be used in theater arts as well. He would have people come up to the mic and say their name. And then he would give them feedback emotionally on what he heard. It's a fascinating exercise, and it's not based on judgment. It's just the voice can be very telling of information. Is it shaking? I remember early in New York City, before I started training, sometimes my voice would get really high when I was around people that I felt really nervous about, that type of thing. And I remember getting up and saying my name, and he actually said, I heard honesty, which I was kind of surprised. It was a beautiful compliment. Um, so yeah, it's about releasing the masks of what we're voicing to others so that we can be a true voice to ourselves. Geo can bring up some things, so you want to take notes. Early on when I did Geo, it just relaxed me. It calmed my nerves down. I could sleep better. But when I was healing my ancestral stuff in the last year, to be honest with you, Geo kind of stirred the pot because there was a lot of deep repression and anger towards the storylines of the women that I were healing that unfortunately came from severe slavery and trafficking. It was deep. So it was completely different experience than what I had done years ago for myself. So if something comes up, there's always a disclaimer in every video that I do. And that's really to just say, you need to know when to stop. You need to know when to take notes. You need to know when to hire a professional. Teachers are valuable. If you're having uncomfortableness or don't understand what's happening, maybe you start having nightmares or rashes, or the opposite. Maybe you start having more mental clarity and speaking your voice. It just depends on the storyline. But no matter what storyline, you're moving forward because we have to heal wounds before we get to the other side too, right? But I'm just saying, hire a professional, take responsibility of that, or reach out, hire me as a private session or one of somebody on my team that's trained. That's where I have the liability on all of my videos so that you understand what you're consenting to, taking full responsibility as in your health, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So, yeah. Okay. So, this is our last meditation. We'll do it a little longer. I'll watch time. Saying the word Geo 7 times and then taking a breath. We're going to have all the fingers pressed together, sitting on the lap. Geo, 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 Geo. 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 Take a deep inhale. Exhale. You can grab some water, your pen and paper, and without judging or thinking, write down anything that has come up in this moment in time that's bothering you that you need to just write out. Don't analyze it. Your grammar doesn't have to be proper. Just get it out on paper now. I'll hold space. If there's nothing that's coming to you then my second question, in essence, is what does your body need from you today? Write it out. What does your body need from you today? Take a moment. I'll hold space. And you may need more time and pause. We're going to do geo a little bit more, but I'll give it a few minutes because sometimes it takes a moment to start writing and then you go, oh, ha, and then it starts to flood and you may need to pause and then come back in. As we're finishing up this video, just a soft reminder, if you're interested in being on my mailing list for workshops, healing events, or retreats, for products, my music, send me an email at youmatter108@gmail.com and put in the subject line, My Health Matters, so I know to put you in that lane. Next week, same time, this will be up, video 3 at 6 a.m. You can play the videos anytime, of course. Video 3 will be Return to Your Light. Breath work for clearing, focus, and being authentic. Have patience. Think of this as the fairy university. You might want to rush through meditations or rush through the program, and that's normal for beginners, but challenge yourself. Shut out social media, shut out busyness and distractions. This is your time for self-mastery. And when you take the time, you might not feel it in the moment in the time, but your soul's going to thank you in time. We're going to do 2 more minutes of Geo and finish this class. Sitting up nice and tall. Hands together on the lap. Geo, 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 Geo. 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 Take a long, deep inhale and exhale. Rub the hands together. Place them over the heart. Thank yourself for showing up today. Send yourself some love with each breath. No matter what state you're in, you showing up, you finishing class, you having a notebook, you drinking water is saying to yourself, I matter. Even if nobody else cares about you, believes in you. And I've had some rough times when you hear my lectures and read my books, so I get it. Your higher self is taking notes. You're working with your higher self. And you might not understand that or believe that today, and that's okay. But continue the work. Because as you continue, you'll find the truth within yourself and your soul and your heart. And so I thank you, and I'm honored that you came into this mini class. For the next week, work on it. Go back to some of the other videos and the other breathwork series if you haven't done it. There's a lot of material to build the foundation. Check out the water, investigate it, and take care of your breath. Take care of your voice and take care of yourself. And I'll see you on video 3. Many blessings.